We've got one more element of this show to go, Kyle. We've got our championship kind of preview here and our predictions. So without further ado, how do you want to go about this? Do you want to just look at each guy kind of thing?
Let's go chronological. Let's go Trucks, Xfinity, and then Cup.
All right, that makes sense. So going into this weekend, we've got Brett Moffatt, Sheldon Creed, Zane Smith, and Grant Enfinger for the Truck Series side of things. Their race is on Friday night at Phoenix on FS1, I believe, and it's going to be a crazy finale, I'm sure, for the Truck Series, as it always is. It's just going to be incredible here this weekend. So obviously, Grant Enfinger with the walk-off win at Martinsville last Friday night, I guess it was. So they've got a week here to prep. And with Enfinger, he led in, I think it was 6 races this season, and he won 4 of them, I think is the stat that I saw. So he's been pretty good when he's had the opportunity, and he's had a good truck on the line. So it comes down to this on 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1 on November 6th on Friday night. The Truck Series takes the action with 3 GMS trucks and 1 Thor Sport truck. We both got our championship predictions wrong with coming into this round across for all 3 series. So let's see if we can get the championship prediction right. Unlike last season, if you listened to our show then, we miraculously got all 3 series wrong. Between the 2 of us, we picked different guys for each series, and we got them all wrong.
We missed them all.
As a Kyle Busch fan last season, I didn't even pick him to win the freaking championship. That's how disappointing of it was going into that finale. But he proved me wrong.
I don't remember all of our championship picks from last year. I got to go back and open up the vault again.
I think you went with Denny Hamlin, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that.
I think so as well.
No, I went with Hamlin. I think you went with Truex. I went with Hamlin because I liked his momentum at the end of the season. I know I picked Hamlin.
Something like that. I don't know. I'll look back at it and maybe post a little flashback or something.
The Xfinity series we got wrong as well with
we missed big time on trucks.
And I don't think anybody got right on trucks with Matt Crafton being the upset champion last season.
Didn't even win
winning a race.
Damn race.
So we'll see what happens this season. That's not going to happen in any series for this championship finale weekend. So that kind of sets the stage here, Kyle, for an entertaining championship weekend. So do you want to go in order and how we're thinking of how it's going to break down, or do you want to look at each guy's kind of season so far?
Let's do it like 4 to 1 and
okay.
Like rank where we think that they'll go, and then we can kind of hit on each guy as we go along.
Okay.
So, let's start with the trucks here. And my number 4 guy, and look, GMS has just been so good this year. And you look at Brett Moffatt and Zane Smith, which we'll get to in a second here, I assume. I like both of those guys quite a bit at Phoenix. Grant Enfinger is the one guy that you can look at and go, okay, of the 4 guys in the Truck Series Championship 4, this is probably the one guy that maybe doesn't deserve it as much on full season performance. And when they're on, they're definitely on. As you mentioned there, in the 6 races that they've led in this year, they've won 4 of them. So when they're on, they're basically winning the race, essentially. That being said, I feel like GMS is just so strong suited this weekend that I feel like Enfinger and ThorSport there are the underdog going into this championship race tomorrow night. And so for me, I will have Grant Enfinger as my longest shot in the Truck Series to win the championship.
I follow the same line of thinking. I just don't see the consistency enough, and on the one-off basis, and he put all that effort into last weekend. I don't know if he's going to have enough this weekend with the limited prep time as well. And they don't run the Truck Series in the spring here as well. So they don't have anything to go off of, as we talked about prior to recording the show. So we both didn't realize that really, but they've, this is the series that has this is the series that has the one-off weekend, for the championship this weekend. So it's an interesting kind of, scheduling, I guess, for NASCAR in that respect. They don't really have anything to go off of, just last year's notes. So I think Grant Enfinger is just going to be outmatched by GMS. I could definitely see one of the GMS guys finishing behind him, but I don't think Enfinger is going to be in the top two of those of the championship battle. It's going to be between two GMS trucks, in my opinion, for the championship. Whether Enfinger goes up there and kind of get into the mix of things, and it's to be determined. Excuse me. So I don't really see anything from Enfinger. I don't see him as a championship winner this season, but I thought the same thing as Matt Crafton last season. So we'll see if ThorSport can kind of upset the championship party 2 years in a row. But for right now, I've got Enfinger third.
Yeah, Enfinger third?
Oh, fourth, sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, whoa. That's a curveball there.
I was looking at my third guy, that's why.
But yeah, when we get into the GMS trucks here, I think it gets a lot more wide open because I feel like all three of these guys are pretty close. But I feel like Sheldon Creed is probably going to be my third guy here. And that's kind of tough to say because kind of like with the Cup Series here and how tight those four are, I feel pretty similar about how tight these three GMS guys are. The one thing that does give me a little bit of pause here is that Zane Smith hasn't been to Phoenix in a truck yet, which is an interesting little tidbit. He's been there in Xfinity, he's been there in ARCA, but hasn't been there in trucks. Maybe that will impact his performance. But then again, you look at his performance at Martinsville, and it was the first time he went there and looked really good there. So that being said, I'm going to have Sheldon Creed as my number 3 guy here at Phoenix. And it's kind of painful to do so. I went bold and said that he wouldn't make the championship 4. That one came back to bite me pretty good. He showed me a big time over the last 3 races. He may well do it again, but I just feel better about both Moffatt and Smith going into Phoenix.
Fair enough, but I'm going to disagree with you on this one. Yes. I don't have Sheldon Creed as my second guy. It's my third. Jesus, what is wrong with
Numbers
me?
Numbers are hard.
It is very difficult. I've got Zane Smith as my third guy. Yes. I just think he's a rookie in the truck series here. It's just a lot to ask going into his first championship final appearance, and having not been in this series at this track before, it's a bit of a tough one to try and predict him being in the top 2. He's proved me wrong at Martinsville in terms of being as well as he did. I didn't think he would fall out of the championship 4 race by any means, but he surprised me. When you see some guys, when they go to a track for the first time, they kind of struggle. And with no practice this weekend, I still can't believe they're not doing any practice for any series in their one-off final championship weekend here. But nonetheless, they're going to do that. So it's just a lot to ask of Zane Smith to go into the finale here and go up there and contend for the championship. I think he'll be in the mix of things, top 5, top 7 kind of truck. But besides that, I don't know if he's just got enough to deal with the experience of Moffatt specifically and the speed that Sheldon Creed has showed throughout the entire season. So I've got Zane Smith as my third guy for the championship 4, Grant Enfinger 4th, just to clear that up, make that all clear. But yeah, those are my last 2 right
So from here, do we want to say our championship pick? Or do we want to go number 2 and then get to
we'll do championship pick here.
Okay, and then we'll circle back around to our number 2 guy. So for me, my championship pick, he's been good at Phoenix in the trucks. He's been good all season long. He leads the season-long points right now. He doesn't know what he's doing for 2021 yet. But that being said, I feel like he's going to end up in a competitive ride, at least in the truck series, if not getting the bump up to Xfinity. Brett Moffatt is my 2020 Truck Series champion, winning his first championship with GMS, getting his second Truck Series championship overall. I just feel like he's the veteran of the 3 GMS guys that I feel like are the favorites going into the weekend, just given how good GMS has been all season long. I feel like he's got the experience winning the championship in the past. So all those factors put all together, I feel like Brett Moffatt is going to win his second Truck Series championship tomorrow night.
I agree. I have Brett Moffatt as my championship pick as well. I tend not to choose the same guy, but for championships, I'll make the exception here. I like Brett Moffatt a lot this weekend. I think just up against this kind of crop of guys that is in this championship battle, I think Moffatt has to go in here as the favorite. Plus, he's running a Jimmy Johnson throwback truck.
On. It looks so good.
Hello. Running the same paint scheme that he ran for the Darlington throwback once again here, obviously with Jimmy Johnson's final weekend. So I would love to see that thing in the winner's circle. If he wins the race, that's even better. But I just want to see that thing in front of the championship stage. At least we can see maybe one Jimmy Johnson thing in front of Victory Lane or holding up a trophy this weekend. So I'm hoping that Brett Moffatt gets it done, and I really like his odds. As Kyle said, regular season kind of leader right now.
Yeah,
overall
second
season-long points.
in regular season points, season-long points.
Season-long points,
barely has a lead over Austin Hill by, I believe, 4 points going to this race.
It's a shame that Austin Hill's not in this. It would have been
that would definitely make things a lot more interesting.
If Austin Hill was in this, he would have been my championship pick. I'll just say that straight out. I would have picked him to win the championship.
Just imagine he goes out and wins Phoenix, and in back-to-back years, he wins the final race of the season, not running for the championship. Oh,
yeah, it's definitely within the realm of possibility. I wouldn't look too far past that. So, yeah, I've got the same championship pick here as Kyle with Brett Moffatt. And then that means for myself, I've got Sheldon Creed finishing second in the championship with Zane Smith for yourself finishing second. So any reason why you thought Zane Smith is not quite there to challenge Brett Moffatt maybe this weekend?
Yeah, for me, it's just the experience. Moffatt's been there, done that in the final race with the pressure on. Zane Smith hasn't done that yet, but even with the lack of experience, I feel good about Zane Smith going into this weekend because, and look, it's obviously not great putting a lot of faith in just one race based off of one race, but last year, Zane Smith ran the number 8 Junior Motorsports car in the Xfinity Series in the playoff race at Phoenix, second last race of the season, and he finished 5th. The only people to finish ahead of him were Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, and John Hunter Nemechek, which means that he finished ahead of the likes of Austin Cindric, Justin Haley, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, Brandon Jones, and Christopher Bell. That race had some issues, so I'll count him to a lesser extent. But on pace alone, he beat some of those names that are running for the championship this season at Phoenix in the Xfinity Series. So I got to say, I like his chances going into this weekend, even though he doesn't have the experience. I think that he's my number 2 guy going into this weekend, just Moffatt that little bit better.
Yeah, I think for myself with Creed finishing second, it's just he can be very aggressive and he can maybe step over that edge. But I think he's still going to be there. I just don't know if he has just enough. I mean, I love the speed that he showed kind of at Gateway, a little bit of a similar kind of driving technique, I'd say, in terms of the slower corners and letting the car roll and then just kind of powering off. So I think there's something to be had about that. But I think Creed's going to just fall short in his bid for his first Truck Series title. But we could be entirely wrong. Any of these guys can go out there and win it this weekend, to be honest. But Brett Moffatt is, I think, probably amongst most people, probably the favorite going into this weekend. But the GMS trio there is no joke. So any of those 3 could win it, along with Grant Enfinger. We can't forget about him with his walk-off win at Martinsville. He's got some momentum going into this weekend. We'll see if that pays off. So any final thoughts going into tomorrow night, which is crazy to say? We're counting our first champion of 2020 on the NASCAR side of things tomorrow night.
All I have to say is don't sleep on the Truck Series. It's been amazing entertainment all season long. We don't legally get to watch it in Canada, so you got to find a way around it. But you know what? Okay, that's my campaign here. Canada, TSN, get the Truck Series so we don't have to go on random streaming sites to try and watch it, please. Please, can we maybe work that out? But no, that being said, if you're in the States, just watch it on FS1. If you're in Canada, find a way to watch it because it's going to be amazing entertainment. The Truck Series has been great all season long, and we've got 4 legitimate contenders here, 3 specifically with GMS that are going to look to contend. But last year, ThorSport went out and stole the championship as well with Matt Crafton. They could do it just again with Grant Enfinger this year as well.